Hello everybody, my name is Ananya Kantrat. So today here it's a presentation on the subject social connect and responsibility, and the topic is about run of Kutch. So let us look into these slides. So what are the index and what are the contents you're going to look into the slide? So basically, first we're going to discuss about the location and description of the run of Kutch and the climate of the run of Kutch and the threats and prevention of run of Kutch and the localities through which the handicaps are famous in run of Kutch. Um, Let us look into the location and description. So basically, the Little Run of Kutch, including the bunny grasslands on the southern edge, is in the district of the Kutch and comprises around some 30,000 square kilometers between the Gulf of Kutch and the mouth of the Indus River in the southern Pakistan. And in summer, Indian summer monsoon, the flat semi-desert of the salty clay and mud flats, which average 15 meters above the sea level, fills with the standing water, and in every wet years, the wetland extends from the Gulf of Kutch on the west to the Gulf of Kambat on the east. So basically, let's look into the what how the marsh can be accessed in Gulf of Kutch and the Indus River in the southern Pakistan, which connects to the Run of Kutch. So basically, the marsh can be accessed from the village of Karagoda in Surendra Nagar district. And the Great Run of Kutch, together with the Little Run of Kutch, is known as the Run of Kutch, which is basically the original name originated from the two little names, which is nothing but the Little Run of Kutch and the Great Run of Kutch together combined. And there are sandy islets of thorny scrub, forming a wildlife sanctuary and a breeding ground for some of the largest flocks of greater and lesser flamingos. So basically, we can look into the animals or the birds which breed over the area and located in the Run of Kutch. There's nothing but the flamingos and due to the atmosphere of the tawny scrub in the sandy islets and wildlife including the Indian wild as shelter on the islands of higher grounds called beds during the floods. So you can look into the other animals which they take a shelter even on the higher ground, which is also called as beds. It's a term or a condition which occurs during the flooding period. And then let's look into the climate, which is located in the Run of Kutch. So basically, the climate of Run of Kutch is one of the hottest areas of India, with the summer temperature averaging and peaking at 49.5 degrees Celsius. And the winter temperatures, they diminish dramatically and can drop to below 0 degrees Celsius, which is nothing but 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And looking into the climate, we can view some of the conditions in Run of Kutch. First, basically, is the arid landscape. So it's primarily a desert area characterized by a vast, salt, marshy, sandy stretches and arid plains. The landscape makes it susceptible to rapid temperature changes and harsh weather conditions. And next is the fluctuating salinity. And due to the fluctuating salinity, we can observe that so flats are alternately submerged during the monsoon season and left dry during the rest of the year. And this fluctuation in the water levels, it affects the salinity of the region, basically. And the other conditions are as follows here. The wind patterns, the area is also strong for winds. It's typically known for strong winds, and especially it is observed during the monsoon and the post-monsoon periods. And these winds, they contribute to the unique erosion pattern which is seen in the landscape. So the landscape can observe different and a variety of soil erosions, which is seen due to the wind patterns, which varies dramatically between the monsoon and the post-monsoon periods. And then as the ecological adaptations, coming to the ecological adaptations, flora and fauna in this region have adapted to survive in these extreme conditions with certain species thriving in saline environments. So basically, you can observe that in the flora and the fauna, that's the animals and the plants. There's an ecological adaptation in this environment. Even though the condition is very saline, they have the tolerance level to survive in this environment in Rann of Kutch. And then let's look into the threats and preservation in the Rann of Kutch. So basically, although most of the marsh in the protected areas is present, the habitants are vulnerable to some of the grazing, firewood collection, and salt extraction operations, all of which may involve transportation that disturbs the wildlife. So there are several threat wildlife sanctuaries and protected reserves on the Indian state side in the Rann of Kutch region. So basically, we can observe that there is demolition of few of the rules and regulations that can be observed here, which is nothing but the salt extraction operations, which is taking place of fire collections and the grazing, overgrazing. So it is always on the Indian side, but then it can be observed that there is a distribution in the landscapes, and the droughts can occur due to which there is a disturbance even to the wildlife sanctuaries present in that region. From the city of Bhuj, various ecologically rich and wildlife conservation areas of the Kutch, or even known as the Kutch district, can be visited, such as the Wildlife As Sanctuary, Kutch Desert Wildlife Sanctuary, Narayan Sarovar Sanctuary, Kutch Bustard Sanctuary, Bunny Grasslands Reserve, and Chari Dhand Wetland Conservation Reserve. So the water scarcity, when it comes to the water scarcity, the region faces a very much of water scarcity issues, especially in irrigation projects and excessive water extraction from the reserve, which can further deplete the already limited water resources, impacting both the wildlife and the local communities. Population, when it comes to runoff cut, is nothing but the industrial activities, urbanization, and waste disposal can lead to population in the region, affecting both the terrestrial and the aquatic ecosystems. And the report to protect the runoff Kutch, various conservation efforts are crucial. So the conservation initiatives includes implementing conservation programs aimed at preserving the unique biodiversity habit of the region. Environmental regulations include enforcing strict environmental regulations to control the industrial activities and minimize the pollution in the area. So then comes the handicrafts, which are very famous in the Run of Kutch region. So first we can look into the embroidery. Kutch is famous for its diverse style of embroidery, such as rubbery, sindhi, each with its unique stitches, motifs, and patterns. So, mirror work, intricate thread work, and vibrant colors characterize these embroideries. And leather work, skilled craftsmen in Kutch produce leather items like bags, footwear, and belts adorned with colorful thread work, mirrors, and beads, reflecting the region's cultural motifs. So, we can also see that there are different varieties of embroideries, specially designed in Rann of Kutch region, which probably might not be seen in any of the other regions, but it might be quite famous in only that region. So basically, you can look into a picture over here, which is demonstrated in the presentation. So the leather work is nothing but the skilled craftsmen in Kutch produce leather items like bags, footwear, belts. It's nothing but it's done with the colorful thread work, mirrors, and beads. So the original region's motifs can be observed here. And then is the cultural significance. So these handicrafts often carry cultural significance, representing stories, traditions, and heritage of various communities in the region. So each and every art which they are designed or the embroidery which they make convey a message to the buyers or the sellers to whom they are selling it, saying that there is a story behind the traditions and the various communities in that region. So thank you for watching this video. Please do like, share, and subscribe to this video. Thank you.